Brian is gonna kill me. Brian, I apologize, man. First of all, Brian sent me 2 flights. I did not realize that this SD card did not have enough room on it. God, Brian, bruh, thank you for giving me these samples. I went through flight 1 and the camera cut off and I did not even realize it. So look, shout out to Brian AUG, man. You guys see him in the comments as B-AUG. He is my bourbon brother, my bourbon twin. We get the same notes on anything. He has been here since the early days of the channel. A1 since day 1 type. You know what I mean? So, I mean, man, look, please. I'm going to tell you guys what was in this flight right here. I might as well do this flight since I have him on the table. I was going to shoot it as a part 2. Now it has to be the main video. This was a hazmat flight. He labeled the first flight A, B, and C. And glass or sample A was Jacob's Pardon 18-year small batch coming in at 142.7 proof. This came in second place. Jack Daniel's special release Coy Hill. You see how dark this thing is. This was sample B. It came in third place. And then C, that came in first place, is Barrel Dovetail Gold Label 2023 coming in at 140.18 proof. Now that Jack Daniel's, do not sleep on Coy Hill. It came in at 142.4 proof. The only reason why it came in third is because it had a little bit of this waxy note. It was so good. I'm so pissed that all of my nosing and tasting notes did not make it. I don't want to make this video too long. I'm just going to give you a quick rundown. The Dovetail, a very heavy medicinal cherry, which I really liked. At one point, I thought I got a little bit of licorice out of it, but once I cleaned, it came back to just a very nice, very good bourbon. A little bit of that cherry medicinal note just stayed there. Glass number 2 was very good. It almost had that same corn husk note that I get in Freight Ranch, that maltiness sometimes that I get in American single malts. I almost thought it was an American single malt. And then the Coy Hill. The Coy Hill was just so deep, so dark, so rich. But it came off very oaky. I almost said that this one was like some type of double oak product, and I thought it was older. So that is just the quick rundown. But anyway, Barrel Dovetail Gold Label came in number 1. Jacob's Pardon came in. Jacob's Pardon 18-year small batch came in number 2. And Jack Daniel's Special Release Coy Hill 2021 came in number 3. All of these were great products. So shout out to you, Brian, man. I appreciate it once again. I'm going to get this stuff to the side. I am so mad at myself. I didn't even see the red dot go out. I had to go back upstairs, clear room off of this SD card, and I started to check before I came downstairs to see if I had enough room, and I was like, nah, I know I have enough room because I had just recently shot a video for Dave Vogelsang. Luckily, Sean, shout out to Sean's Echoes in Eternity, man. We were part of a gift giving to Mr. Vogelsang himself, and that was an amazing, I mean, I really appreciate you, Sean, allowing me to be a part of that. We're going to get into these samples now. He labeled these samples 1, 2, 3, and 4. He didn't give me the answers to these either. He just says that number 1, which he didn't write down, so he sent it to me in an email. He said, number 1 is a store pick from World Wine and Spirits out of Southington, Connecticut. However you say that. So we're going to get right into these, man. But once again, man, thank you so much, B-AUG, man. That was a very fun flight, and I appreciate you letting me get some of that Coy Hill because I had never had any Coy Hill before in my life. It was very good. Like I said, it just came in third because it had a little bit of almost like a waxy note, and a little bit of that char towards the back, and that oak really kind of did it for me in the blind, at least, because it did. The other two being so sweet, especially with the Barrel Dovetail having that like medicinal cherry, almost like a NyQuil or a Tylenol cherry note, really put it over the top for me. I like that note. I get that note a lot in some of those Four Roses picks. those single barrel barrel strength Four Roses picks that I really like a lot. So I like that note. I know some people don't. Let's get into the nose of the second flight. I do have enough space on the camera, so we will get through this thing. Oh, that is kind of peppery and spicy. This thing almost smells like a cologne an old man would wear. Oh man, that's like a spicy cologne. Like almost like I said, like when you would see like an older guy walk past you on the street and he has like that old school man cologne on. And it's light. The ethanol doesn't punch me. Now that's what I get for doing a hazmat flight first. So I'm horrible when it comes to picking proofs, because the first glass, even though that was my first drink of the day and Brian told me to keep it clean, he said, dude, have a clean palate. He said, because I really want you to taste the nuances, especially in the second flight. But having that first glass, I said that thing was probably 100 to 110, because as soon as I put it in the mouth, it just woke the sides of the tongue up. I mean, it was just like, wow. But I was like, no, I don't want to say it's too high, because that was my first drink of the day. Let's get into glass number 2. That smells more caramel, more like buttered caramel popcorn. It kind of reminds me of, and I've said this before, Benchmark Full Proof with that candy corn note. It's like a sweet candy corn note. I also picked that up in the Sam Houston 86. Let's go on to glass number 3. Kind of bready and kind of like cleaning solution. A little touch of a grape, almost like just a hint of a grape note. And a little bready, little doughy, little grapey. Let's go on to glass number 4. I'm gonna say this probably is, that was a hazmat. That was a hazmat flight. This probably is gonna be something very low proof. Maybe even below 90s, even though this one smelled like full proof. This just smells sweet. It smells sweet, sugary sweet, table sugar sweet, just a hint of brown sugar touch. A little bit of vanilla, but that's it. All right, let's go into the palate. Since I botched flight number 1, hopefully we can get through flight number 2. I told you guys I have enough room on the SD card. Sweet cinnamon. Oh, I like that. That's sweet cinnamon, red hot. There's like a graham cracker note. That's nice. I really like that. That's really nice. Sweet cinnamon. You got that cinnamon red hot. There's a vanilla note, like a cream, almost like a coffee creamer. And then there's like this graham cracker note. I can't say that there is much on the finish. I'm not picking up any char. I'm not picking up any leather. It's almost like a clean finish. And that's pretty much it. All right. Brian wanted me to taste the nuances. I'm gonna have to sip a little bit of water. Give that time to rest a little bit. I don't want to water the next pour down. These are definitely lower in proof. That candy corn note actually comes out in this. It's a very sweet, very, very sweet, almost like a sweet tea. And no finish on this one either. So you got cinnamon red hot, sweet tea, glass 3, let's see, well, let me clean first. These are lower in proof. No finish, no finish. Still the same. Now a little bit of that lemon is coming out. Like I've told you guys before, that concentrated lemon note that I get sometimes. Let's go into the palate. whatever that is, that's not doing it for me. That concentrated lemon transfers over to the palate. There is almost a sourness to it. I get I want to say not even a touch of black pepper. There's something on the back of the palate that it isn't finishing right. It's almost like char, like concentrated char. It's whatever it is, it's not doing it for me. So we've gone from cinnamon red hot to sweet tea to concentrated lemon and char with a little sour note. There's something in it that is just not doing it for me. I forgot to clean, but this is more typical bourbon. So it's more vanilla, that brown sugar notes there. It's nothing that's saying, wow, I'm standing out. Let me clean a little bit and see if that changes anything. But this right here is just typical. This like your typical bourbon. It's nothing saying, wow, I'm different, I'm standing out. Yeah, pretty much the same. Pretty much the same. I don't even have to go backwards. I kind of already know how this is going to play out. So this is going to be my number one. Glass number one is going to be my number one. Glass number two is actually going to be my number two. Glass number three is going to be my glass number four. It just didn't do it for me. And then glass number four is going to be my glass number three. I'm ready to get into these, man, because jacking up the first video, my heart is broken, man. Oh my gosh. All right. Like I said, he said glass number one is a store pick from World Wine and Spirits out of Southington, Connecticut. All right. Let's see what we got here. All right. So glass number one, which was my number one, by the way. Doc Swinson's Bossa Nova Bourbon Whiskey, finished in Brazilian Amburana cask. There's no proofs on any of these, so I don't know what they are, but I'm assuming that they're not very high proof. This one was really good, man. I like that note, that cinnamon. It was like a cinnamon red hot. It was super sweet. It had like this graham cracker note in it. I really like that. That's very good. Number two, wow. This is a bottle that everyone chases. Penelope Rio, batch number one, finished in honey and Amburana barrels. This was good. That was really good. I really like that a lot. This came off more like a sweet tea. It had just really rich, I won't say rich, I'm sorry, really light, sweet, like tea notes. And that's what gave me like that sweet tea note on the palate. This one right here is number three, Starlight Distillery, which does not surprise me. Starlight Distillery just does not come in high when I put it in blinds. I don't like it by itself. That is why it was something about this glass. Very concentrated lemon. It is the cigar batch finished in Brazilian Amburana barrels. And last but not least, coming in at number three, this is Barrel Bourbon Cask Finish Series in Amburana. So this is basically, he wrote on here, flight number two, all Amburana finishes. I've never had anything Amburana. Brian, shout out to you, man. I really appreciate you giving me not only 4 finishes that I've never had before, but a Coy Hill. The Coy Hill. And these gold labels, if this is the gold label that I'm thinking of, the ones that go for quite a pretty coin, yeah, thank you, because I probably never would have ever had that. And this one right here, this was which was Jacob's Pardon, 18-year small batch. I've never had an 18-year bourbon, so that was my first. You have provided me with 7 samples of things that I've never had before in my life. I really appreciate you giving me the opportunity to do these flights. Once again, Pound Bourbon Brothers, Bourbon Twins. And with that being said, let the whiskey flow. Never run out unless you head into a drop. Till next time.